دحين في اليوم الثاني من المؤتمر Connected Health Symposium. دوبي قابلت الفاوندر تبع المؤتمر دكتور جوزيف كافادر. هو بيعمل أبحاث كتير ومشاريعه في حكاية التيليدرماتولوجي، الكشف على الأمراض الجلدية باستخدام التكنولوجي اللي هي التطبيب عن بعد.
This workflow where this first part just represents us getting the information from the EHR, and this patient no-show portion is where we're actually running a model. We have a model that we've built, and we're basically passing the patient information through that model to predict whether they're likely or unlikely to show up to the appointment. And so it's as simple as us building this model based upon that scheduling information we've collected, then us being able to drop that model into the workflow so that every time Olive runs that information through that model.
Yes. I see. هذا الاب للترياج، عاملين زي افاتار تشبه اوكي as a human being، وهي بتجاوب على اسئله المريض، وعلى اساس اسئله المريض بتوجهه ايش ممكن يعمل. فدحين هنشوف ديمو. اوكي يس.
Hello and welcome to the symptom checker. My name is Olivia. Based on your responses, I can make a recommendation on what to do next, such as calling 111. I can also offer self-care advice. It will take a few minutes, but by asking you the right questions, I can give you the most accurate outcome. Okay, now, please tell me your main symptom.
I have a headache.
Okay, sounds like headache. When did the headache start?
Yesterday. It should choose from it? Okay, for 7 days.
I see.
It's really loud in here and you have a very
How are you
soft...
feeling now?
Oh, okay, that's why.
So you can go ahead.
Confused.
Thank you.
This is going back to the UK.
Have you recently had a
It was
headache?
the UK server, that's why. No.
That's why it's a little slow.
And I think also the
Thank
network
you.
is really weak, right?
Yes. You got that right.
How did the headache start?
From the lectures? Oh, sorry. فاللي شفتوه هناك سنسلي البلاتفورم FDA Class 1. هذا أقل من ال FDA Class 2. هذه تصريحات من الفود اند دراج ادمنستريشن لاستخدام البلاتفورم والابس للمرضى. وهنا أغلب الكورنرز والبوث بتجهز السوفت وير واستخدام الارتفيشال انتليجنس اللي هو الذكاء الاصطناعي. فهذا اللي كان على لمرضى السكر. So it's called Insulia. Insulia from insulin. Okay.
And it has a patient platform as well as a provider platform. Actually, you know what? I'm going to let this continue going.
Type 2 diabetes. Calculating your daily dose of basal insulin is hard.
So what the patient sees when they log in every day is a link to add what their blood sugar is. So I say my blood sugar every morning. I put in what my blood sugar is. And every single day, I get a dose recommendation.
Okay.
And for this one specifically, this person got a 50 unit because they'd previously been on 49 units. And okay, I took my insulin, and then what time they took it. And now all that data goes to the patient's provider, where the provider has a portal and they can monitor what the blood sugars are doing. The other thing that the patient's portal, the healthcare provider's portal can do is that's where the prescription for the application is. And so the provider gets to choose how they want to titrate the insulin. So they can start them on Lantus or Levemir or Toujeo, and they can say, I want them to take it once a day. I'm going to start them at 10 units, and it says how often they can increase the dose or how and by how much at the maximum. And then the provider, as soon as they save this prescription, it gets sent to the patient so that they can activate it.
I see. So either like it will be predictive from the app, or it will be real time with the doctor adjusting the.
The doctor doesn't have any. It's internal in the app. So it's an FDA cleared medical device that because it does give automatic immediate feedback.
أنا هنا في بوث اسمه ماسيمو، والبوث هذا عبارة عن بيربط الأجهزة مثلا في المستشفيات اللي هي متصلة بالمرضى مع بيجر مع الممرضة. الممرض بتكون معها البيجر، فإذا مثلا الجهاز لقط مثلا إشارة بسوء حالة المريض أو تدهور حالته، راح يرسل الإشارات هذه لبيجر الممرضة. أنا في بوث كونفرزا، وهيورينا ديمو على الموبايل اب. Yes.
Yep, there it is. So this is the conversation paradigm here. Nice to see you again. So with this profile, they've had previous interaction with the patient. They want to collect some more information. This is not the first time we've talked. This is down the road a little. We see that that you have data uploaded from your iHealth glucose meter. It's a connected device.
Okay.
It looks like 5 mornings and 3 evening readings. Does that sound right? Yes, it does. Got it. In the past week, you've had several morning readings above 130 and some evening above 150. Okay, there's a trend chart. We have longitudinal data on the patient because we've had touch points earlier in the week or a week ago.
So this is our peak flow meter device. It's called Smart Peak Flow, and this connects to your smartphone via the audio record.
Okay.
And you just have to download the app, which is available online from iOS and Android store. It's very simple to use. You just have to blow in it.
Oh, okay. I like this one.
And the app will show the result, and it saves automatically also.
Okay, I see. So this is for the testing first, right?
It's a personal peak flow diary for asthma patients.
Okay.
It's important for them to monitor their peak flow values. They should do it every morning and evening, but most of the patients don't like to do it, partially because these are the traditional peak flow meters.
I see.
These old mechanical plastic ones, and people don't really like to use it. And they should also have their own peak flow diary.
This is Pillow. It's a healthcare system for the home.
Okay.
And we're building a health management platform for the home centered on this device. So what the device does is a couple of things. One, we store and dispense medication. So we can store up to 28 days worth of pills inside this tray, which lives in the back of the device.
To be connected with it? Oh, okay, I see.
There's one in there.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. We store and dispense pills. So, hey, Pillow.
Good afternoon. Good to see you.
Dispense my meds.
Hi, James. It's time to take your pills. Would you like me to dispense them now?
Yes. So, let's see, I think I've loaded it. So now it's moving the pill tray at the back, and boom, out comes the pill. So relatives, unpaid caregivers, we can have video calls on the device. You can even connect with doctors.
I see.
So, hey Pillow.
Hi.
Call James.
Okay, I'm going to call James.
Open, but
I see.
theoretically anybody who can download the Pillow app. So you can see.
So we can call anyone.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's the second feature, so we can have video calls.
Okay.
Staying connected to your care team. And then the third feature is he's an intelligent assistant. Provides information, so you can ask medication-related questions, you can ask condition-related questions, you can ask about the weather if you want. So, hey Pillow.
Hi, how can I help you?
What's the weather in Boston?
In Boston, it's sunny and 57, with sun and a high of 60 in the forecast.
That's good. Not that cute. Riyadh.
Riyadh. Hey Pillow.
Hey! Can you say that again?
No. What's the weather in Riyadh?
In Riyadh, it's clear and 77, with sun and a high of 89 in the forecast.
So you can ask about the weather, you can ask about medication. So, hey Pillow.
Hi, how can I help you?
Can I take alcohol with antibiotics?
Some antibiotics have a variety of side effects, such as causing nausea and dizziness, which might be made worse by drinking alcohol.
Says only the weather medication and what else? Like any
What do you want to ask him?
Oh, interesting.
Tell me. He's trained on my voice for the wake word, but then you can ask questions. I tell you what. Hey Pillow.
Hi!
What kinds of questions can I ask you?
You can ask me about the weather or any weather forecast anywhere in the world.
Okay. Hey Pillow.
في المؤتمر عاملين design thinking session for connected health. هذا شيء جديد في المؤتمر. ورشة عمل بس عشان يعلموا اللي هي different tools في التفكير التصميمي بالنسبة للصحة الإلكترونية. الbrainstorming والjourney maps والtools هذه إن شاء الله أشارككم بها قريبا بإذن الله.
What that looks like and how it happens, and you trip over some assumptions, and assumptions are natural, and everyone has them, and sometimes you need to embrace them. But really what you want to know is to capture them and understand what they are and figure out things like, wait, do you have the patch yet? Is this the point where you get handed that patch? And those connection points, the lines between the nodes, when you go from a doctor to a patient, that handoff is actually extremely important. And there's sometimes the things that are left on the table as far as design goes and as far as the experience goes. So that's part of the strength around storytelling, because you get to identify those problem scenarios before they happen. Great, thank you.
Real-time data, or 15-minute intervals, or depending on how closely you want to monitor it.
And it'll also show when you got your insulin shot, so you can see how the readings changed afterwards. Now you're feeling a little bit weak.
Feeling a little weak. Go back to my app or my pump, and I say, you know what? I really need insulin right now. So what my app will do, it will automatically give me a notification, or it will say, give me also notifications if I only have one pump left, or one injection left. Sorry, I'm not a diabetic, I apologize, I'm using the wrong terminology. And then I can immediately use the buttons on the pump to give me some sugar or insulin. Again, I apologize. And if I'm feeling very, very bad, I also have a help button on, it's like an OnStar button or an immediate 911 button in the top left-hand corner that will be red, bright, shiny, especially for those who are visually impaired.
Your device is an actor, your physician is an actor, the patient's an actor, the manufacturer is, the insurer. All these different constituencies have something to say about how the experience of this product plays out over time in different contexts and how they get value from it. So, skip that one. Oh, I lost all my slides because this is yours. Never mind. So let me talk a little bit, since we're so what we want to think about is I'll just kind of cut to the chase. Going to the dentist is one interaction. You have to drive in your car. You have to park. You have to walk in. You read those magazines. Maybe if you're like, my dentist has a nice fish tank, I like looking at the fish tank. Maybe they have terrible, terrible music. You have to listen to terrible music. Maybe the magazines are terrible and you hate sitting there. Then you get called in and you sat in the chair and you talk to the what do they call it? The tech. And then they ask you lots of questions and they fill up information on their computer for their system. And then you wait, and they scrape your teeth and give you x-rays, and they do all this stuff, and then eventually you see the dentist. So the key takeaway from this example in service design is going to the dentist. The dentist is one tiny interaction and a whole
to succeed. I work on our education team, most specifically on the PSS, the psychosocial support programs.
Team that supports a global community of volunteers called the Open Health Information Exchange, or Open HIE. It's a virtual community that supports governments and implementers in the development of standards and implementation approaches for exchanging information in support of all types of ranges of development and humanitarian work. And I'm sure we can go into some of the examples of the types of support that they do provide and some of the specific systems and standards. That topic is of particular interest to me around standards and interoperability, in part from some of the crises that broke out in infectious disease and surveillance response, like in Ebola in Western Africa, and where the lack of interoperability of data actually was a real challenge and barrier to use of or enabling the continuity of care for patients. So a patient.
هذه القطعة اللي وريتكم هي أمس في الملصق العلمي، فراح تورينا كيف. Okay. Here's like a large piece. I thought it was smaller.
Smaller?
From the poster, yes. And it looks like هذه القطعة وهي لابساها دحين. وده التابلت. Yep.
Initially you would set it up.
So this will be like monitored by a remote nurse.
It could be, yeah. So it could be inpatient in the hospital, or it could be outpatient.
Okay.
This might look different in those settings. So this operates just as a relay. So Bluetooth connectivity to a relay, be a tablet or phone, or a hub that then goes up to the cloud or displays on the TV.
Okay.
So what you see here is a live ECG continuous, along with your heart rate, respiration rate, skin temperature, steps, posture. Posture will change. So I'm standing upright. This is actually me right now wearing the patch.
So if you're moving.
Yep. So if I were to lean over, it takes about 2 seconds, I believe.
Oh, okay, leaning. Nice.
So if I were lying here as well. So it's live, continuous, like I said, Bluetooth. So if you were to go out of range, this would show it's disconnected for the time being, but the patch collects everything. So it'll collect data for up to 10 hours. And then once you come back in range, it will upload all the data and you'll still continue to see live data.
I see. So this one for medication adherence in patients.
And this is the app that would show the calendar month here.
So each time the patient will open this one, there will be light or what?
Yes, well first it will start flashing a light to let them know they should take their medicine, and if they don't open it yet, then it'll start beeping and it'll get louder and louder until they take their medicine. And they'll also be able to see here in their app, and in this example, a person needs to take 5 doses a day.
I see.
And they did, they get a green check mark.
Okay.
This day they only took 3 doses. This day they didn't take any.
I see.
And then down here it's waiting because for whatever reason the bottle cap hasn't been synced with the phone.
When you open it, yes. So إذا المريض ما أخذ الأدوية, so he should push this one, and it will call the pharmacy عشان يعبي العلبة مرة ثانية بالأدوية.
Putting these people in their home and so they can't interact with us in the office, and that's a benefit. I was at a board meeting explaining this, and one of the physicians who happened to be on the board was also someone who had patients in our program. She stood up and said, I want to tell you a story about an individual who was housebound, who was afraid to go out because of her heart condition. And she got on this program, and she's now liberated. In fact, she takes the equipment with her and visits her kids and brings it on airplanes and plugs it in, so because she feels so connected back to the system. So I thought that was awesome. Yeah. Ready?
فوصلنا لل last stage of the conference, آخر يوم. أتمنى السنابات والمعلومات اللي شاركتها أضافت لكم شيء جديد. فزي ما انتم شايفين اوريدي احنا في المستقبل، والديجيتال هيلث كل الأجهزة اللي شفتوها هذه اوريدي موجودة في المستشفيات هنا، وإن شاء الله راح نشوفها قريب في بلادنا.